A wonderful book. I just read it last week, and I couldn't go to sleep till I finished it. You had some off-the-court battles that you've conquered, or at least you're conquering. And if you could talk about that, I'd love to hear some of your insights on that.
Well, once the book kind of came out of, I don't know how many of you in this room watch Dancing with the Stars, so I got asked to be on that show, and I pretty much played my last match in 2003, and I tried for a few years to come back, but unfortunately my foot is just not at that level to be able to play competitively, and to this day I have issues with it. But anyway, so I decided to do this thing, and a lot of people who haven't seen me, when they saw me, are like, oh my God, you lost so much weight. It was nothing to do with tennis or anything. It was always about my weight. And some of you have known me during my tennis career. I got a lot of not so pleasant comments about my weight. It was always, oh, if only if you were in better shape, you would do much better. So I think people were surprised. That's kind of how they asked me to write a book to talk about my, my life story. And I thought, gosh, at 35, really, to have such a story to tell? I mean, I hope I still have many years ahead of me. Most people write these things a lot older. But once I decided to do, which a big part of the book I wrote myself, it took me about 10 months, which I'm not sure I would do again, because I took on a challenge that I really didn't expect to be so difficult. But I think again it talks about trying to challenge yourself with something new, because I think that's what that way you keep getting better and you always stay more alert. So for me, that was my challenge this past year. And I just really talked very openly about the highs that I had in my career, like when I became #1, won my first Grand Slam at 16, and had all these great things happen to me. And then at 19, while I was playing a tennis match, I got stabbed, and then for 2.5 years, I didn't play after it, and I entered a very dark period where I really was not a happy camper. And then my father's death, which happened when I was 22. So I just really didn't have a good few years there. But the end of it was that I decided that I still love tennis, and this is something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to come back to it. And then really throughout it all, which is, I talked about how I struggle with my weight, and the comments that I got about my weight while playing in tennis, which everybody is really super fit, and as much as I wish I didn't say it, women athletes are definitely treated differently in terms of how we look compared to male athletes. And to make things even harder, in my own brain, we had the super beautiful female athletes like Anna, then the strong ones like Venus playing. So I realized that even for my career, this was very difficult to do. So I talked about it in the book, and my main goal was to hope to inspire people out there who are struggling with their weight, and we're going from one diet to the other, like I've done for 9 years, and finding a way that's part of a lifestyle. And now I've maintained my weight for about 5.5 years, and really, as you guys saw me last night, I eat normal foods, and I think I just became a happier person out of it. But most importantly, I think I just hope the book also inspires whoever picks it up to be the best that they can be. And for me, that was a combination of conquering my eating disorder that I had, and at the same time moving away from tennis, because tennis was my identity and something that I've done for such a long period. But yet at 34, when I retired, I still have a long life ahead of me, but I still want tennis to be a part of it, but not the same level that it was when I